You know how if you scroll TikTok enough, you will eventually find movie clips and you can kind of piece together an entire movie via TikTok clips? Well, there is a movie called The Intern that has consistently been on my For You page. And so the other night I was bored and I said, okay, I'm actually going to watch something. And so I watched The Intern and there was a lot of good reviews. I've heard a lot of people say they liked it, and so I thought it would be good. And I liked it. Kind of. I wanted to talk about it because I actually had so much to talk about, and my boyfriend was asleep while this movie was on, so I have no talk about it too. And then I remembered I made a whole channel dedicated to this purpose. So, we're gonna talk about it. So, this movie follows a CEO. Her name is Jules, I believe. You know what, we're gonna get the cast up because otherwise this is gonna be a consistent issue. So, the CEO, Jules, has a clothing company that she is absolutely excelling at. She approved a senior intern program. And she did not remember doing this, but she did it. And then Ben, played by Robert De Niro, gets put on as her senior intern. But he's amazing, shows her how to have fun, you know, does the whole 9 yards, shows her how to have fun, works hard, teaches her things, looks after her, lets her emotionally be a bit more vulnerable, and they become besties, and it's really cute. Jules is played by Anne Hathaway, and I think she does an incredible job. And this movie is directed, the screenplay is by Nancy Meyers, and she is also the director. And I actually thought parts of this movie were really great, but I did think a lot was bad. I thought the sweet part between Ben and Jules was really good. I found the love interest of Ben being Fiona, I found that really awkward. I just did not like that part. I don't know, did you guys like it? There was so Fiona is the in-house masseuse, and Fiona is just, I don't know, weirdly, I don't know, I don't like their romance, but I think it's pretty sweet. It's okay, it's whatever, it's like a side part, it's not really necessary. But the big part of this movie that they kind of end up coming towards and has the whole ending that is terrible, by the way, I hate the ending, is Jules's husband. So we find out through Ben dropping her home one day, we see Jules actually has a young daughter named Maddie, I believe it is. No, Maddie's the one who doesn't like her, Paige. She has a young daughter named Paige, and then her husband's name and the baby daddy is Matt. Matt, we find out, is a great house husband, and it kind of tries to tackle, like, can men be house husbands? But it doesn't feel like it tries to do this very effectively. It kind of just, like, has a lot of insults thrown at Jules for being a hardworking woman, and then Matt. And we then find out one day when Ben offers to take Paige to Maddie's birthday party, we find out that Matt is actually having an affair. Through Ben being super awkward about this, we actually find out that Jules already knows that Matt is having an affair and is kind of just like stuck at what she should do about it. And so, I don't know, I just find this so weird. I don't know, I personally I've been cheated on, so I hate any form of like media with cheating on if it's not punished. And so I was like, oh, this is a weird kind of side part, but I understood where they were going with it, trying to say, oh, Jules isn't present enough, so I get it. But it's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird. The weirdest part though probably is Jules has this really uncomfortable relationship with her mum. Like, she hates her mum. She says, I love you, and her mum says thank you. And she ends up she tries to write to Matt how much she hates her mum, calls her like a terrorist, says all these things. And then she accidentally sends it to her mum instead of Matt. And so there's this whole like big scene where like Ben and a few of the other interns and workers sneak into her mum's house to delete the email, basically. And this is so weird. This feels like it breaks up the pacing in a really weird way. I guess it's to show how far Ben will go for Jules, but it just feels super weird. There's no real payoff or reason for this. Like, it is literally just a random thing like thrown in the movie. Like, they were trying to include it. We never meet Jules's mom. There is no ending with Jules's mom. It's never like wrapped up nicely. It is literally just ended there. It's so weird. Like, it's such a weird part of the movie. It just feels super weird and I'm not happy. I don't know why they added it. Like, I saw some people say it was inspired on maybe Ocean's 11, was it? But I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it felt like they were trying to do too much with this. Like, the Jules mother plotline, in my opinion, did not need to be there. I could understand a few off comments to like explain why Jules is the way she is, maybe. But like, if you're not going to include, I think every scene needs to have a purpose in movies. Like, your runtime, you're running it down, it's a 2-hour long movie. That scene didn't have to be there and you could have cut it down to like a 2 2 hour, like 1 hour, 30 minute, I don't know, movie. Like, you just didn't need to add it, did you? So, moving back to the Matt affair. So Matt is cheating on Jules with a mum from the school, which is, I would first like to say, this is bad for for Paige, if Paige ever found out. This is bad for, like, Jules, because the mums were already being mean to Jules. This is bad for Jules because you're cheating, like, that's terrible. And overall, like, I thought Matt was a good guy, I thought he was a good father, and then I found out about the affair plotline and instantly hated him. And so another part of this movie is that there is a CEO they want to hire. Who is it who wants to do it? Who even plays that character? I don't even know who it is. There is a character who honestly does not matter, like, at all in the slightest, and he is trying to convince Jules that she should look and maybe hire a boss of hers, so a CEO, because I believe she is the owner of the company. I don't know, they phrased it weird. They called her the CEO, but I think she is the owner. And then they want to hire, like, a CEO with experience and all this stuff, also, like, a male, which probably is to drive home the force of, like, woman in charge, blah, blah, blah. But they want to hire someone who has experience, who has all these things, yada, 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 and be Jules's boss, because Jules is always late and all these things. And Jules doesn't want to do this because she's scared that they won't like how she does stuff and she'll get fired, basically. This whole plotline in general feels weird, because I do feel like, have you ever heard of hiring help? Just hire someone under you. Like, if you don't want a boss over you, hire someone under you. I don't know. Like, I don't know how business works. I don't know how CEOs work. But I feel like if that's your issue, you can just hire someone under you who can still make your decisions and make slightly less important decisions. And you can still boss them and still make sure the company is being run how you want. But you'll stop being late to meetings and you'll stop stressing and you'll have more time for your family and yada, yada, yada. Like, that could have really solved it all. But anyways, she originally hates this idea, but she can tell Matt's really struggling. Matt wants him time, blah, blah, blah. And then she actually decides that she is going to hire a CEO, because she hopes that if that happens, Matt will stop having his affair. Because remember, Jules knows Matt's having the affair. And so she hopes that if Matt has more time with her, he'll stop having an affair. Ladies, men, never do something for someone else so they stop cheating on you, so they stop treating you like shit, so they give you the bare minimum. If someone is cheating on you, break up with them. I don't care what the problem is. You never handle a problem with cheating. I'm telling you right now, that is not the appropriate way to handle something, obviously. And I feel like this is kind of anyways, so she ultimately decides, talking to Ben, that she is going to not hire the CEO, because she realized, Ben kind of made her realize that she really didn't want this and she was doing it for Matt. And so she's going to go call him and be like, hey, I'm sorry, like, you're not going to be the new CEO. And then in this heroic act, because, you know, Matt kind of knew, there was like a scene where Matt kind of knew that Jules knew about the affair. So in a heroic act, Matt runs into the office and is like, wait, don't hire him, blah, 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 blah. And Jules is like, I'm not gonna. And then she's like, is it over? And he's like, it's over. Like, the affair is over. And then it's kind of like awkward. Matt apologizes and hugs Jules. And that's kind of the wrap up. They end up staying together. They end up working it out. She doesn't hire a CEO. And then at the end, she goes to tell Ben the great news. And he's doing some Zen thing. And she joins in. And that's the end of the movie. And we don't understand, well, how is Jules actually going to handle it? How is Matt going to get a redemption? Because he really shouldn't. He didn't even do anything. He wasn't even the one who convinced her not to. He came in and, like, did some, like, huffing and puffing his chest and, like, wait, don't do it. She was already not gonna do it. Ben already did that. Ben already did that part, baby girl. You can sit down now. And it's, like, something that really gets me about this movie that I think I'm realizing about why I hate the ending and why I hate parts of this movie. It's because, obviously, in a structure of a movie, you have beginning, middle, end, right? And in the beginning, something's the way it is, maybe the characters are a bit flawed, they have their fatal flaws, then there is a, like, inciting incident, right? And then that spirals the middle, which is, like, the adventure, the what happens, blah, blah, and then you figure it out, and the ending is, like, you don't have to wrap up the ending with a neat little bow, in fact, you shouldn't, but the ending is kind of showing the aftermath or the completion, and it tries to end it on a satisfying ending. The Intern kind of ended it where it should be the ending. they should have the ending be Matt's redemption and how Jules handles it without a CEO and what Ben does after. But I do understand that's where they wanted to end it, to like leave it on a bit of like a open note of what happens. But I also feel like Ben didn't get that much character development. He just fell in love with Fiona, the masseuse, and got a few massages, which is always nice. But I don't know, I just feel like the ending was very weird, and I hate the like allowing of the affair. It felt very soon. Like, he had been going behind her back with a woman who probably doesn't like her, probably thinks it's an achievement to be the one he's cheating on her with. And Jules just forgives him. Like, yes, you can acknowledge that you have flaws that may end the relationship, may cause the relationship harm, but to actually sit there and she basically kind of blames herself. Ben is like, you're not blaming yourself for this, right? And she's like, no. But she kind of was. She was gonna end it. And I feel like she didn't even get to the stage of like not blaming herself, but she just got to the stage of like, oh, I don't need a CEO. But it's like, it still felt like she was like acknowledging that it was her fault, or she believed it was her fault. And I'm talking about this because a lot of times a cheater will blame you. I got told by my ex who cheated on me, my actions were just a reaction to who you were. He literally said, I cheated because you made me. Cheaters will do that. Cheaters will blame you. Cheaters will be pieces of shit. And I feel like although Matt didn't actively say, well, this is your fault, and he apologized, I feel like he kind of knew that Jules was blaming herself, and him coming and huffing and puffing and be like, don't get a CEO, don't do it for me. He kind of like used that against her. And while yes, she could be a more present mum, she could be a more present wife, that doesn't equal cheating. Matt needs to work on him. And if it is really bad, get a divorce. Like, genuinely, do not cheat. Do not cheat. Anyways, was this movie as good as TikTok said? No. It was definitely heartfelt, but I feel like I've seen more heartfelt. I did really like Jules and Ben's relationship, but a lot of the plot lines in there felt hella weird. I don't know. I just felt like they weren't necessary. The like break-ins in the middle were weird, and the affair just felt so rushed, and a lot of things just felt a little bit odd and like not necessary to the plot. Like, I don't know, I just felt like a lot of it was to just waste time. But the actors overall I felt did great, although the original part of the story of just Ben and Jules' relationship was really sweet, so I think the premise of it was great. I just think we lacked in the ending part and probably some individual storylines. But that is all. That's my little video today. Let me know if you guys want to see different videos on other movies that have already been, out for a while, or if you're looking forward to any movies coming out you'd like me to make videos on. Just give me any video ideas in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe because I'll have many more videos for this channel coming soon. But that is all, guys. Bye!